Okay then, so here I go again, checking out uh, one of the pro losers on YouTube, and then running exactly the same outcomes. After they've shown a loss or occasionally a win, running exactly the same outcomes through the pattern betting algorithm to see how decent, sensible, logical, mathematical betting would have done against exactly the same outcomes. And this time I'm doing it with two guys at once. Excuse me, because I just felt like it. So what I've got is I've got Degen Dolt and King Sirasani, the greatest blackjack player in the entire world, possibly in the universe. And boy, those two guys are so different. I mean, Dalton Webb is probably half Sirasani's age, maybe less. I think that Degen Dolt just turned 25 just in the last few weeks, and I think if he keeps going the way he is, uh, King Sirasani is going to get much older very quickly. Anyway, they are two very different guys. They have different attitudes. They have what I used to refer to as table manners. I mean, the way that you behave yourself in a casino is important. I think it's important to have a certain rapport with dealers. You can't get it with all of them because some of them are just not up for it. Some of them are house dealers. They want to beat you. They figure they're doing their job better if they kick your ass. What that means, of course, is that amongst all the dealers in a given shift, the house dealers are the ones who get the crappiest tips because people don't like them as much, and then of course everybody shares tips equally, so it's really somewhat unfair. Anyway, that's something for the casino biz to worry about. It's certainly none of my business. So yeah, DD is especially in recent months, he's become much more kind of grown up, really. He plays well. He handles losses very well. His table manners are good. Sirasani, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. I mean, not only does he do bizarre things like, when he hits a winning streak, he says, you've witnessed greatness, which is utter nonsense. It's like me standing outside and taking credit for the sunshine. I mean, it's just, it's just ridiculous. But I think, to be honest, the guy is pretty ridiculous, and I think that most people agree on that. If you look at the comments underneath his videos, they are mostly negative and mostly attack his behaviour and also his play, which is just brainless. DD plays better, but not well enough. He's still a random better. And anybody who bets randomly, I'm sorry, folks, you've got to get used to this. It is simple logic. Random betting is the same as flat betting. Flat betting cannot work because over time you are going to lose more bets than you win. So there's just no question about it. But boy, I don't get the feedback or the kickback or the what's it pushback that I used to, because I think maybe people are smarter now than they were 30 years ago when I first went online with pattern betting, or back then it was called turnaround. Excuse me. And then it became, sorry, it's winter in the UK, and it's beginning to tell on my pipes, although, of course, they're pretty bad in the summer as well. So what am I talking about? So let's have a look at what's his face. This is the best that ever played. It's the same story all the time with him. He is entirely dependent on the actual value, which is flat bets. If you were betting one unit all the time, this is where you'd be at right now. You'd be ahead. Not by much, but you would be ahead. You'd be ahead 3%, actually. It's up there. And so that, just look at him. I mean, it's crazy. And meanwhile, pattern betting, of course, is kicking ass. It has a few hairy moments, but that's because it's a business. We are in the business of making money, and we take it very seriously. This is not recreation. It's not entertainment. It's not excitement. It's not thrills. It's not an escape from the real world. This is the real world. We are in business to make money from the casinos on a consistent and regular basis. So there. Um, yeah, DD is doing better. He's doing not not fantastically. He's 52,600 ahead right now. We're at 272,500. I think, let's see, we're at 17% our win currently against DD's outcomes. And I promise you, nothing has changed. I don't mess with his outcomes. I don't cheat with his outcomes. I just jot them down in my trusty notebook and then transcribe them over to Excel. It's a pretty fast process now because I've got it pretty well down after a few decades of doing this. Not so much tracking other people's play, but tracking my own. So, and I don't know if I need to explain here, just in case you've never been here before. P is for player, N is for a lost double down, Y is for a winning double down, W is a wash or a push, B is a blackjack, D is a dealer win, P is a player win. And I think all of that makes sense. Oh, S down here is surrender. I don't ever remember seeing DD surrender, but he must have done because that's what it says here, and I don't lie. So there we are. Sorry. I wish I were better at editing. I could just bloody cut those things out then with a little wobble. Maybe I'll work on that. Anyway, this is just a general picture I'm giving you right now. Both of these guys are ahead, but compared to pattern betting, they're not doing that great. Sirasani, the last one, was his second session at the Horseshoe in, I'm not sure where it is. It's somewhere south of Chicago, I think. It's he did mention the name of the city, but it doesn't really matter, does it? This is part 2. He has this thing where he likes to have a good-looking lass beside him at Blackjack. I don't know whether they're intimate friends or what. None of my business, let's face it. But they are good lookers, some of them. All of them, actually. No, what am I talking about? They're lovely. I don't know what they're doing there. But let's look at his latest anyway. Down to the bottom, and what you see is pattern betting's win here is nearly 16,000. The most important number of all, probably. I mean, obviously, the win amount is important, but the most telling stat is this one here. It tells you how much of what the percentage is of the total action. And here we won 16,000 on total action of 152,000, which is plus 14%. And that's pretty bloody good going, because this was a shit session. It was nasty. I only bother about, for pattern betting, I only bother with the first base bets, so the left-hand bets. And so when Sirasani goes into one of his sort of silly, and DD does it as well, multi-bets, two bets, three bets, whatever, I pay no attention to those. I put them in on their tabs, but I don't have, I don't bother. Pattern betting would never do that. I would never do that. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Also, I watched a guy who wasn't exactly a friend, but he was certainly a friendly acquaintance back in Nevada when I lived there, who had tons and tons and tons of money and a very successful business and a lovely family and a big house and all the accoutrements. And he loved to bet 3 bets at a time on a blackjack table on his own. He would only play heads up against the dealer. So usually he'd ask for a reserve table. And because he was a high roller, he got what he asked for. And he lost everything. Over the years, it took him about 3 or 4 years, but he lost every damn thing. And that's because if you bet multiple bets, you are dead meat every time the dealer gets a made hand and you don't. And it'll very often happen that you will have 3 stiffs dealt to you, and then the dealer will turn over a natural or or a 10 up, and it will turn out to have a 10 under, and you're just dead, and so you're 3 times dead. What's the point? It's ridiculous. So anyway, that's the pattern betting number for against Sirasani's latest, and we go down and we have a look at how he did. And what did he do this time? He lost. It's 12,250 on just the left-hand bets, and then his extra bets cost him 4,500 on top of that. So his total loss this time was 16,750, which is 16% of his action. This is his action, not just down here, but with these bets too, because that's added up here. So, that's his total action. And here is his total loss, 16% against 11.3. So he made the house edge against him even worse with shit play, because basically that's what he does. He plays or he bets. See, this is a distinction that I should make more often. Play is the wrong word entirely. I'm as guilty of anybody else of using it. Play is not the word. Bet is the word that we need to use. It's how you bet. Blackjack sort of gives the illusion of playing in that, you make your own decisions, so you can affect the outcome by the choices that you make. But since we're working from the basic strategy, although Sirasani often doesn't, but since we're working from the basic playing strategy, bet, bet, bet. How you bet, how you bet, how you bet. That is what matters, nothing else. And look at Sirasani here. What you see is an average win of 982, an average loss of 973, 101% average win over average loss. That is crap. Crap. Useless. Go back up here. What do we get? Average win for pattern betting, 1,042. Average loss, 506. Average win over average loss, 206%. I mean, come on, people. Jesus. Anyway, let's go over to Degen Dalt and see what we got from his last outing. He got killed again. We made 7,000, or Algie made 7,425 on the first base bets, plus 16.2% of total action of 50,000. There was a slight player edge in the end with the left-hand bets, plus 1.1%. One more win than the number of wins was one more than the number of losses. Here is the average win for Algie for pattern betting, plus 616 over minus 439. That's 140% when you go average win over average loss. So that's good. That works. And then down to our boy here, and his left-hand bets lost 5,500, minus 13.2%. His extras, his multi-bets, he does try and disprove what I'm saying, but this is short-term. But this time he made 750. He added 3,750 to his total action. So he ended up down 4,750, which is minus 8.5% against Algie's plus 16.2%. Now, there's all kinds of other crap, other information that's available in these files. And I'm going to try and get through it quickly because I'm already at 14 minutes, which is, kind of bad. But let's go up to the top here. Quickly going over this. The flat AV is now plus 1.9%. That's up here. This is for DD's outcomes. 2,774 bets so far, nearly 3,000. The net is a house edge of 2.4%, but by the time you factor in double downs and natural payoffs at 1.5 to 1 and so on, you end up with plus 1.9. So there's the plus 1.9. Algie made 17%, a win of 272,000, as you can see, and there's the action, plus 17%. The expected outcome is plus 31,000, so we did quite a bit better than that. And then we go down again to here, and we go up to the top. And what we're looking at is DD is slightly ahead of the thingy here, the actual value. He's at plus 3.4%. And again, algae is at plus 17%. DD has gone from 75 to 10,000, which is 133 to 1. Algae's gone from 25 to 25,000, which is 1,000 to 1. DD's average win over average loss averages out over all his bets at 111%, and algae's at 160%. And, you know, I just cannot overstress the need to bet in such a way that you win more when you win than you lose when you lose, so that losing more often, which is inevitable, doesn't drain your bankroll. It's just so damn important. So that's basically it. Going over to King Sirasani, the greatest of all time. You got to love the guy for his modesty, right? I mean, you know. So here it was a similar story with, yes, the house had an edge net, but that was changed from minus 5.5. That is in the house's favour. If it's red there, it's bad for the player. If it's green there, it's good for the player. That's a player edge of 2.8%. And because JC Goat is a random better with absolutely no logic, no reason, no sense whatsoever, he's managed to scrape by 2.1%, and meanwhile algae is at 9.1%. And again, JC Goat 200 to 10,000, so that's 50 to 1. And whoa, why has algae gone from 25 to 50,000? Don't know the answer to that. Must have been a double down. That must be it. Must have been a double down at the max. So that's 2,000 to 1. And please, you know, I get when people say to me, well, that's ridiculous. I can't afford to bet that way. And the answer is, if you can't afford to bet this way, you will lose. So think about it. If you are guaranteed to lose, is it sensible? Is it grown up? Is it anything other than bloody stupid to put your money down in the first place? If you can't afford to win, don't bet. There's lots of better things that you can spend your money on than building casinos in Nevada or wherever else. You know, and that's what you're going to be doing if you don't have a strategy that's pretty much like this one. I've never said pattern betting is the best strategy in the world. It's just the best strategy that I know. And if I could find a better strategy, I would dump this in a heartbeat and jump over to it. But I haven't found it yet. And that's basically the story. So, you know, I can bang on and bang on and bang on. And all I can say to you is, Sirasani bets like a complete idiot, and DD, who is a much more likable guy, bets like everyone else, which is stupidly because he bets randomly. But it's his money, it's his choice. He can do what the hell he wants. None of my business. But what I'm trying to do here is to say, look, these are real outcomes. You can go and find them. You can, you know, look at them. You can, if you want, you can check my records against what you write down as being the outcomes that occurred, you know, and I guarantee you, but the pattern betting algorithm doesn't change from one day to the next or whatever. It's there. It's permanently there. If I find a screaming error, I will fix it. But they're always so tiny, it's unimportant. Very often it has to do with the last mistake I found had to do with the win progression, which is where I stop at 125. I won't go above 5 units. So, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, that's where I stop. And if I have 19 wins in a row, then most of them are at 125. Other people say, oh, well, it makes much more sense to bet more. They're entitled to their opinion. I don't like going higher than that. That's that. When I do change that rule, as I sometimes do with these things, just to see what the difference is, it does make a difference that would have been in my favor. But I'm just not comfortable with betting unnecessarily high. I'm quite comfortable with betting high when the strategy tells me that that's what I should do, because if I don't, I won't meet my targets. And the problem with these guys, with DD, with Sirasani, with all the others, is you can't beat these games unless you have a win target, which, once secured, once achieved, puts you back to a minimum bet. If you don't do that, you are doomed, because you are random betting, and you are, it's a word that begins with F and ends with D, and it's probably frustrated. That's the one. Yes. Anyway, enough of that. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
God damn it, god damn it. God damn it! Why the fuck did I do that? Everyone, you've seen what playing by the book has done for us, so stay. Ah, damn it! Holy shit! Holy shit! It's for you. We're done.